What are you talking about?
So you know my guy B.dot is infamous for like making these fucking lists.
Oh boy, here you go.
Like, what's crazy about it is it really shows me how much an opinion matters because like it's really his opinion. Like the fucking ozone layer is not gonna break because he made this list, right? But at the same time, when he makes these lists, everybody gets up in arms about him. Which I feel like I was like, the last list, like we all like what I love about B.dot is like he really don't give a fuck. So he told everybody, like, you know when you want to fight somebody, you be like, yo, all right, outside, like B.dot like a bully in hip hop. So like he literally is
I am the nicest guy. 6
p.m. Clubhouse, all y'all tell me how y'all feel. I don't give a fuck. Like, but this one, which is just the half of the year.
Yeah, I just, you know.
Can we bring it up? Can you bring it up?
Okay, so yeah, like just for context, I figured, you know, we're 6 months into 2021.
Right.
A lot of rappers are working. A lot of rappers aren't.
Right.
Let's just do an evaluation. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like I said earlier, I think about rap and hip hop more than the average person.
You
like,
always say that you listen to rap more than the average person.
I do.
Wait, so how you come up to the synopsis? So how do you listen to rap?
I listen to every, like, because, you know, new music comes out on Friday,
right.
and I literally listen to all the prominent releases.
Bring the joint up there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You do sound like a bully. See you in December.
See you in December.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I have a podcast. I work in the media business, so I got to know about what's current, stuff like that. And what I was saying is, people do hottest MCs, right?
Right.
To me, there's a difference between best and hot.
Hell yeah, it's two totally different things between best and hot.
So last year I did a whole week of superlatives. Is that how you pronounce it?
Superlatives?
Superlatives.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
What the fuck does that mean?
You know, like you know in your yearbook, like.
Oh, okay. I didn't
the best
even know that
stuff, the
word.
worst stuff.
I didn't even know that was the word for that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did that last year. I was like, okay, 6 months into 2021, let's see who, in my opinion, is the best rapper so far of 2021.
Okay, so my only problem.
Start from 10, if anything.
Start from 10?
Yes.
My only problem with this list is that
because no one else was doing it. So
no one else is doing it, but that's what I like about it because this is what I like about it because like, yo, one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a list too, and I was like, nah, I don't want my mentions being like,
yeah,
like I don't.
And not to cut you off, but my skin is thick like a loop dancer, like so I can take the criticism. That shit don't bother me at all. Like
so, my only problem with B.dot's list is that Jay-Z and Nas is over Jim Jones, and they only put out.
Well, the reason why. Well, this is why I looked at it, right. I look at the. People are getting offended. Like when I make a list, when I make a list, right, I think about who are the real players in this game, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about your homeboy down the block or in 4E that raps.
Right.
Like I'm talking about niggas that really matter, right? So I'm thinking about Jay-Z and Nas, and sure they have no album and stuff like that, but they put out prominent verses this year.
Right.
And they resonate. When Jay-Z drops a verse, whether you like it or not, people are talking about it. And I'll be honest, and I'm not. You're a Jay-Z dick rider. That's what they're saying. In the comments.
I want to let me step off for 1 second and we come right back.
Yeah.
But like because I was having this conversation about Mace the other day, and somebody said that Mace was never in his career a bigger artist than Jay-Z, which I think.
Well, he should go jump off the fucking Verrazano or George Washington.
Let's go back, my brother.
He's an idiot. You don't have a conversation.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna campaign, like, before we finish, I want to say some things about Mace because I'm gonna fucking campaign for Mace's respect. I don't care what nobody says.
Who don't give Mace respect?
It's mad people that don't give Mace. But
they weren't there.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's stay on it.
So all I'm saying was I think Jay-Z's verses, especially the joint he did with Nipsey, What It Feels Like, had a response.
Yeah.
Some people like the Sorry Not Sorry. It's mixed, but it impacted. I think and Jay-Z is nice. You know what I'm saying? So I put him at number 10. Number 9.
All right.
Nas, him and Jay have kind of the same output this year.
Right.
To me, so like I think if you're doing a temperature check, Nas could be at number 8.
Are we counting Nas within the year of still
I think within the first 6 months.
Within the first 6 months of the year.
Of this
so now
year.
we taking King's Disease out of
No, we're taking that out.
All right, cool.
So then, I have Freddie Gibbs.
Who's kicking ass right now.
He's kicking ass. And Freddie hasn't really put out that much, but to me, that record, the Big Rabbit joint, over the Nas beat, he killed that shit.
And he just killed this shit on Banks' album too.
But and maybe to be fair, I heard that earlier before I put the list out. So maybe I was thinking about that as well.
Right.
Then your favorite rapper, Drake.
Drake is one of my favorite rappers.
I know. That's the beauty. Like, we're going to fix that
It's okay.
situation.
Don't worry about it.
And then, of course, you have your top 5. You got Benny, Conway, Lil Wayne, Cole, and Lil Baby. And honestly, I was torn between Lil Baby and Cole. because
I feel like that's where you're gonna get the most. So remember, Baby was on the last list.
Yeah, I had him at like number 6 or something like that, and you cursed me out for that.
Yeah, I cursed, yo, because this is my dog, right? So it's like, because me and B.dot, we have like, I ain't gonna front, like our DMs and our text messages could be a podcast in itself, like no bullshit. But like, I just was so big on Little Baby last year because he had took such a big leap. Yeah. So the only thing that I would say, because this is a very respectable list.
Oh wait, and and number 10, Jim Jones, and people are hating me for that too as well.
But that just shows me that they're not listening to Jim Jones, because this is the thing: when people see that you put Jim, they think that you're talking about Jim in 2006 when he dropped Hustler's Poem or some shit.
Yep.
Not all the shit that Jim has been doing over the past year, this year,
and. To be honest with you, before J. Cole dropped Off Season, Jim Jones, in my opinion, had the best album of the year. I love the Fraud Department with him and Harry Fraud, and I think Jim has his album was so good. I text his publicist. I was like, "Yo, does Jim? No disrespect. Is he writing all this shit himself?" Like
I hit Jim a few times, and I have a very close relationship with him, but I always tell him that I appreciate him outside of me, because it's like, for a lot of artists, even for most of these guys on this list, like we know or we have like relationships with, a lot of people think that when we make lists that it's just favoritism, and it's not. Like, I'm able to take myself out of the conversation and just really give Jim his flowers. You know what I'm saying?
You have to.
Harlem aside,
right?
So because this is my problem with the like
my list.
Yeah, because I had it's one of the people that I campaigned for B.dot's last list that was. I don't think he was even on it. Lil Durk. Okay. Because as much as I love Jay on no was it
the Nipsey joint?
The Nipsey joint.
Yeah.
As much as I love Jay on Sorry Not Sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking Hellcats and Trackhawks, Lil Durk verse on that shit. Like, so what I've been learning with myself, and I learned that I wouldn't just say in recent years, right? Because everybody feels that they should make B.dot's list. Everybody.
It's like making a Forbes list or some shit.
It is, but you should be highly flattered.
No, listen, is what I don't care about as long as you're talking, so I don't care.
When I've been looking at because every time I look at one of B.dot's list, I think of like, how would I make a list and how would I pick the criteria? And again, when I talk about like my age that I am now, I think about how I was when I was younger, and I think about like how much I would have been a fucking big ass fan of Durk right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, not discounting what Jay or none of them do, but I feel like the only way for because I don't consider myself a journalist, even though I'm put into that.
It's all broadcasting at this point. Yeah.
But like, even for me to be put in that position, I'd be like, damn, it's like, aside from them just dropping this album, because I can't even really elaborate on it because I only listened to like 6 songs.
Yeah, I'm still listening to it.
Yeah, it's like I'm still listening to them. I'm listening to fucking Banks album. You know what I mean? Durk is talking shit, bro. Like he's talking shit, and I feel like him and Baby are like, in order for them to be in those top tier conversations, they got to be put in the conversation.
I feel you, and maybe I'm coming off as a hater or a curmudgeon. You know what I mean? Right. I don't think I'm myself as that, but it's like, for me personally, I haven't heard any Durk music that made me go like, yo. Like, god damn, me personally, maybe I'm not listening to the right records.
Yeah, maybe you're not listening.
But I have been listening to the new album, and I was like, yo, okay. Like,
yeah, yo.
That one song, Hats Off, with him and Travis Scott.
Yeah, he went crazy on that
That verse was bueno. So maybe, again, with this list, this is halftime.
This is halftime.
Subject to change.
So I feel like even with the other list, I feel like the list aged well. Now, you know what B.dot got a lot of flack for was no women on the list, right?
I'm a misogynist, you know?
I saw that.
That's what he gets in with. Shout out to Raven, because Raven went crazy on you.
Yo, Raven hates me.
I love
Raven, but she hates me.
That's my girl. I love Raven. She went crazy.
Dope.
But even with this, I feel like B.dot, because this is the first time we had all seen Stove Got Cooks. Like,
this is from last year.
This is the last year's one right here. But I ain't gonna front, like, what did I hit you and tell you about Stove?
So that's Stove. You hated me. It was like, first off, niggas was calling it, they thought I was an investor in Stove God Cooks. They would call him Stovetop.
Stovetop. Nah, they was calling him everything but his name.
Right, and then Wayno, kind of Wayno was dismissive because I don't think he heard it. But then when he did hear the music, like, yo, B.dot ain't lying.
But you know what's crazy? My other man, whose name is Byron, he was telling me about Stove Guy. He's like, yo, it's this nigga named Stove Guy. This nigga fire, and I hadn't listened to it. Yeah. And I ain't gonna front, like, I was like, yo, you know what? Let me listen to this shit. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, yo, Eddin. Yo, I listened to this shit. I was like, oh, now this nigga still got crazy. I'm like, yo, this nigga was like, he's like, both of my exes is a dime and they still a dub. I was like, yo, bro.
When he said light skin, all he does is talk about drugs.
Yeah,
it's like the highs and the lows again. I respect it.
Right.
And a little bit of spirituality in it as well.
Right.
And he said one time, light skin base runner. I'm Derek Jeter. I was like, oh shit, this guy's great.